Greetings, listeners. It is I, Evil William Penn. Well, looks like the gents have finally done it. They've done a Star Wars episode. And of course, as an adherent of evil Quakerism, I am a fan of any film involving war. But let's see if the fellows can make us laugh, shall we? Ooh.
Alright, guys, we're back with episode 8. I'm Joe Martino.
Michael Ianieri.
And welcome to the highly original podcast.
Highly original.
Exactly.
Never been done. One of a kind. Son of a gun podcast.
Don't even try to look for other podcasts and think that you're going to find what we've done. What we have done, innovative.
Innovatively awesome.
So, Mike, before we jump into our main topic today, which is Star Wars.
Ooh, we gotta try this, man. I'm nervous.
That's right, listeners. The long-awaited Star Wars episode is finally here.
Finally here. What? But wait.
Don't worry, I've changed some format to make it not a repeat.
Okay, I was gonna say we tried this.
Yeah, don't worry. My notes, I got my good notes on my phone right here.
Okay.
And I changed it around a little bit, so I think we're gonna get a little bit of a different conversation out of it.
I'm interested.
But updates on the podcast. As some of you guys may know, we're on Instagram now, so
beautiful.
So give us a little follow there.
Share.
And
follow.
Again, we're gonna continue to explore other avenues to get our podcast out there. So, as we mentioned last time, those of you who do not have Apple phones, we want to give you a way to have a more convenient way of getting us aside from YouTube. But of course, follow us on YouTube as well.
Of course, man.
If that is your preferred method too. But yeah, Mike, so how you doing? How you doing on this fine night?
I'm doing great, man. It's a beautiful night today. It's a little chilly, you know?
Yeah, you told me. You went outside and you said it was like... It was freezing you to your bones.
It was freezing me to my bones, yeah. It was not good.
So you said.
It was not good.
No?
It was not good. I went outside. It was cold. I thought to myself, I got to think of a joke about bones that I could go tell Joe.
Okay.
And I told that joke, and yeah, I feel like people throw tomatoes at me like I'm on stage, like bad stand-up over here. I feel like that joke didn't connect. I'm kind of nervous, Joe.
Really?
I'm scared.
Oh.
What if it wasn't original? What if it wasn't dumb? Like what? What am I gonna do?
I don't know. Yeah, it's probably highly original.
If it's highly original, then we're good.
Yeah.
If it's
all
right. I was making sure.
I mean, I'm doing all right. I had ordered Indian food, as you saw.
I saw
in front of you.
I saw that. I smelled that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it.
I'm a fan of Indian food, so.
Yeah, no, Indian food's definitely good.
I don't know
man.
if you are.
No, I definitely. Yeah, my mother makes it all the time.
I asked them to turn the heat on it.
Okay. Was it spicy?
My Grubhub order, I said, "Can you make it spicy?" ? And they did. They delivered.
Did? I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. You didn't look like you were fighting any spice demons.
No, it was kind of hot.
It was?
I'm not gonna lie. It was.
So you just got a good poker face. Is that what it is?
Honestly, I feel like Indian cuisines and I think I mentioned this before on the podcast, like Bangladesh, Pakistan, India,
yep.
all those countries in the Indian subcontinent. I think that's the spiciest cuisines out there.
You think so?
I do.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. Nah, because I've eaten in the Indian restaurants and
the Jamaicans they do
Jamaicans definitely spicy.
Too. They do spice too.
But Indian cuisine, man, they turn that stuff up, bro. They make that spicy and I could eat it.
Yeah.
I love it. But I think that's definitely one of the spiciest cuisines I guess I ever tried. Am I saying cuisine too much?
No.
What if I said lean cuisine?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I like cuisine. I think cuisine's a good
Cuisine's a good word.
We're gonna keep going with it.
All right.
But no, I mean, I probably would have used to say Mexican food is the spiciest. But since kind of in my years, I'm
all right.
Yeah, I'm nah. I think India has.
India's got the championship.
Spice.
Yeah, I even told a friend of that.
Yeah.
I even told a friend about one time. I was like, I said, I don't know if Mexican food's the spiciest. I said it's obviously in Spanish.
Is
She was arguing with me.
is the friend of Mexican heritage?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
she was like, sí,
Was
mucho
she-
picante. I said,
Was
no.
she like adamant that like?
No, yeah,
Nah,
she was
my
adamant.
country has the spiciest food.
Yeah, it was like that. Now, I'm not Indian or nothing, so I couldn't, you know what I mean? I couldn't
Yeah,
argue.
you don't really have.
I have not a leg to
horse
stand
in this
on.
race, like,
Exactly.
you know.
But I'm arguing with her, and I was like, nah, you're right. I was like, you're right.
You're right.
She won. She always wins arguments.
Nah.
Yeah, she always wins.
Well, I think she loses. I think
You
India's
know
got
what?
the.
I'm going to
India's
agree
got
with
the
you,
spices.
and that's because she doesn't listen to this podcast.
All right, good.
I'm going to agree with you, and I'm not going to be afraid to do it.
Nah.
She's wrong. She's wrong.
Good for you.
Indian
Mike.
food takes the cake
I think so.
of spice.
I'll spice.
Cake spice.
Spicy
cake.
Spicy cakes.
There you go.
Yeah.
I just had to say that.
Huh. I'm glad you did.
I appreciate it.
And our listeners are too.
I think that, my God, of course they are.
All right. So, I got the got our updates. I don't think there's anything else that we're really we're working on. I mean, we're always plotting and scheming
Exactly.
in highly original forms and ways. But I think that's all we want to.
For now, that's all I want to put out
tonight,
there and
But you know,
divulge.
we're gonna keep growing, keep it up, keep growing this thing. So I wanted to touch on our Italian American heritage.
Okay.
We've kind of taken a hiatus with that over the last few episodes. So I wanted to bring it back in. I wanted to bring it back in for this episode to make it not too Star Wars centric.
Right. No, I'm liking this. This is going to be a good Star Wars episode.
It will. But I wanted to bring up like Italian superstitions.
Ooh, Italian superstitions.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier before we recorded this, but I don't know, Mike. Do you wanna go first, or you want me to? Lead in?
Why don't you lead in? Why don't you lead the way for this one?
Of course. So, Mike, let me know if this is something that your family does. So, you know, in many places in Italy, at least in the old days,
the old world,
you know, left-handedness was like bad. That's
right,
like you know, and it's even to the point of what it says, like left in Italian is like sinistra, like which is like sinister.
I never thought of it that
So
way.
like so. Yeah, I mean it goes. I
never thought of it.
It's even embedded into the language. Dang. But so my when I was like a little kid, I would go over to my grandparents' house, and I would eat with my fork in my left hand,
right?
And my grandfather apparently would like take the fork out of my left hand, like put it in my right. Because he was like
scared,
you know,
going on a bad road.
Yeah, it's like it's bad. It's just like it's bad luck or whatever it is. It's like bad.
You're gonna bring a famine on,
huh?
You're gonna bring a famine on, like it's bad luck, like.
No, but like, and like apparently my dad like has even said he thinks that he may be naturally left-handed.
No,
but because of his father's intervention,
oh no,
he's like now right-handed. But like there are times where he like feels like it's unnatural. But
oh my god,
he's been so trained to use the right hand. Like that's like how
I wonder if he's really left-handed.
Yeah, like,
man, that's funny.
It's like a question that is like plagued my father.
Does he have any artistic like ability, like painting, drawing?
No, yeah, my dad does, and my grandfather did too. My grandfather was like an art. He was a graphic designer.
That's really
was his profession.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, like and then he also did a lot of you know, woodwork and carpentry.
Yeah.
Like you know, or kind of like light construction, interior construction. He didn't build like houses or anything.
Probably decorate.
He might have been able to like build a deck and stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
so, like,
right. Yeah.
But his profession was graphic design. That was his,
that's awesome, man.
He was a graphic designer for TV Guide, actually.
Really?
Magazine, yeah.
That's cool. For the TV Guide that will come out in the middle. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah,
I've never known that.
Yeah,
Never knew that.
So yeah, my dad has a little bit of the artistic talent.
I wonder. I was gonna say, like,
I don't.
You
have
don't?
like too much visual art talent. I could draw like a little bit here or there, but like.
Joe, you're talking to an artist here, Joe.
I feel like maybe every generation of Martino men, it's died down.
It's died down. I was just gonna say though, like, you should put the brush in your dad's left hand. See what
happens.
I don't know, man. Like some art, man. You never know.
Oh yeah, my dad does some art though. Oh.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
My mother's left-handed. My mother's ambidextrous. Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah.
Both
That's where
hands?
you can use both. Yeah.
But she preferably would always use her left hand. She's like an artist and all that. I gotta ask her, like, hey ma, growing up, did you get that a lot? Like a lot of that, like left-handed, like hate. Because I know my mother and my uncle are the only left-handed people in my family.
But you don't know anything.
I'm not even I'm not even aware of that.
It's like your grandfather or grandmother never said anything to you, like.
Because I was always right-handed.
Okay,
Yeah, I've never even. Not that I can remember now, man. Nah, but I feel like I've definitely heard that though.
Yeah,
I've definitely heard that, obviously, but like just not to where I can give you an example. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Which. Like, yeah, no, I can't, man. I'm trying to think if I could think of something. Usually, like, when we talk about stuff, I'll start unlocking all these memories, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got something we could talk about, but I'm drawing a blank here.
No, no, I got it. But all right, so what were some superstitions that you
That, like, I grew up with?
Noticed?
Well, like, for me growing up, though, my grandmother would always give the horns, man, like, the hands to people.
Yeah.
Kind of like, hey, tu frego, like, you know, go to hell, like, something like that. I don't know if she was, like, cursing somebody. Like, I don't know if that's a super, like...
I mean, that's my understanding.
Yeah, like, I hope not.
Yeah,
She's after my grandfather when they would argue.
That's serious?
Yeah, and then it would be, like, a battle of, like, airbending. Like, it would look like they're all throwing these crazy hand gestures. Nah, she would definitely give them the horns, man. My grandmother...
Which, for those of you who don't know, that is it's sort of like the rock and roll symbol.
Right.
But it's like pointing at someone.
Yeah. Act like you're going to shoot a spider web like you're Spider-Man, but then put your thumb inside.
Yeah.
Don't have your thumb out. That's what my grandmother did when she was mad. Yeah, I mean, you said the left hand. I'm trying to think of something like... Joe, I'm like lost, yeah.
Didn't you say something about salt?
Yeah, but would that be Italian though? My grandmother would cook. She'd have like extra salt in her hand. She'd be cooking, and she'd realize, all right, doesn't need that much salt. She'd throw it over her shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of the whole like don't spill salt, but like I feel like I've heard of that in like a lot.
In like a lot of cultures. Right. I'm trying to think of something specifically like Italian, like hey, don't drop your meatballs. Like what? Like something like that. Like I don't know, man. Like I say like a lot.
It's fine, man.
Maybe that's a superstition.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even know what I'm doing right now, Joe.
Ooh.
Maybe I'm superstitious you right now.
You're protecting.
I'm protecting you right now.
I will say you're waving the horns around a lot tonight.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's to keep the other bad horns away. It's to keep the bad Malokios away. We don't want nothing like that here. Because we're talking about a very controversial topic.
Is there a good evil eye? Because that's what you just said.
I don't know. Yeah, there's just a bad evil eye.
I think there's a good evil eye.
The Good Eye.
Yeah.
Starring Evil William Penn.
But talking about the evil eye stuff, I noticed that in popularity, like the little eyeball pendants, like the little blue eyeball pendants. Have you seen those?
I've seen them,
so
yeah.
That's like Middle Easternish, right? You know,
right.
That's like their like, I don't know, like pendant for the evil eye, like to protect them.
Right. And that, yeah,
of course, good. We have the Italian horn,
and
then the lesser known, cornuto, mano cornuto. Or like the horned hands, right?
Right, yeah.
You know, I don't know. Am I speaking? You not understanding my dialect?
I'm speaking. Yeah, I understand.
I was like, dude.
See,
Okay. So yeah, yeah. So like, we got the Italian horn. Do you have an Italian horn?
Definitely do. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not on me right now. I should probably wear it, especially after this talk. I think it's upstairs in my bathroom in my cabinet. Yeah, you saw my one chain over
I've never seen it.
I definitely have one.
I want you to show. So I wear mine a lot.
Yeah, Joe's got it all the time, man.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that's my...
Ooh, I got an Italian superstition, bro. I got one. Okay. Maybe two, but for now, one. And this was told to me by a cousin. Okay. And this is passed down, like this is maybe just an Abruzzo thing. I don't know what
it might be.
Never trust a man wearing a pinky finger ring. Or a pinky ring. Not everybody has pinky fingers. Never trust a man wearing a pinky ring is what I heard. And I heard that because I had a pinky ring on. Like a cousin of mine was like, hey, you know what they say, right? And I was like, no, about what? He was like, you can't trust somebody wearing a pinky ring. And I just took it off. I was like, what are you trying to get at? I'm just like, what?
I had like one of the most non-Italian women say the same thing to me.
Yeah,
really? I think that's just like...
Is that just a general...
I think that's just like a smart comment. Like, yeah, I don't think that's like...
I have another cousin that believes if you have a gold necklace on, it's good for your eyes.
That sounds like a superstition.
That sounds
like a superstition.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, it's good to wear your gold necklace because it's good for your eyes. Something like that.
That sounds like some kind of...
I told that to my grandfather. Yeah, I told that to my grandfather. I was like, hey, Papa, I was like, that's true? He was like, what? And I explained to him in Italian, and he was like, nah, your cousin's crazy. Don't listen to him. And I was like, all right, okay. Wow. Yeah, that's probably it, man. I didn't think I'd have nothing for that, but
yeah, I said 3. But going back to the Italian horn, which again, for those of you at home who don't know what Italian horn is, it looks like a chili pepper, and people always calling it. They're like, what is that? Is that chili pepper? I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah, like you know what it is, but they don't. Yeah, I don't know. I got that all the time.
It's not chili pepper. And but I like wearing mine. This one from my parents. They got this for me this past Christmas, but I had bought myself ones before, and they broke. And I remember one time, I told my friend Nick about it. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh no, you got Italian horn. Oh, that's nice. And he's like, who gave it to you? And I was like, oh, I bought it for myself. He's like, his eyes got wide.
No,
he's like, bad luck. Yeah, no. And he was like, oh, serious? I was like freaking out.
No, yeah.
So then when my old one broke, I was like, all right, I get my mom and dad to buy me the new one.
Yeah, no, just have them give it to you at least. Like, can you just act like you bought this and just give this to me?
No, they did. This was a Christmas present.
Yeah, they bought the legitimate one.
Yeah. So
it's funny though, like just growing up in an Italian household where like, you know, primarily all the older people are from Italy. The superstitions, they may not be like specifically Italian superstitions, but bro, they were so heavy in my house. Like it was a very like superstitious house with my grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no shoes on the table, no freaking breaking mirrors, no. I don't even know what, man. Like no, if you see a black cat, it's bad luck, all that stuff, like all that jazz.
Yeah, yeah.
You ever hear the Babbo?
No.
The Babbo. I don't know. My grandmother would always. It was like I guess a monster.
The Babadook.
No, I guess it's like an old like Italian. The Babbo.
I wonder if that's what the Babadook's based off.
I wonder, yeah, because she would always say like, "Hey, so the Babbo's outside."
What is the Babbo supposed to look like?
She always made it sound like this big, hairy, like monster. That's just like
that's kind of. It sounds like it might be the Babadook.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
I wonder if this is like.
Did you see that movie?
I did with my brother years ago, man. Around the time I saw like, what's it called with Krampus?
Yeah,
I saw
that's
the same
time I saw. Yeah,
I saw.
I was living in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania at the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I remember I saw Krampus in the theater.
Okay, that was good.
And then me and my friend up at the college I was going to at that time, King's College. I only went there briefly. I might have mentioned this on the podcast before, but I was up there for a semester and 2 weeks.
Right.
Not very long. Not a very long career up at King's College.
It's okay.
For me, but,
it's okay.
But yeah, we watched the Babadook.
You watched it there, yeah? No way, man. Yeah, I wonder if that's because the Babbo just doesn't sound like a real monster. To me, growing up though, it did. I really was afraid of that thing.
The Babbo.
Hey, come inside. It's getting late.
I think it kind of sounds real.
The Babbo's coming. Like I just imagine this like homeless like monster. I don't know, bro. Like I still can't imagine. Okay. I guess all monsters are homeless. Right?
Nah.
Some monsters have homes.
I guess. I don't know.
I didn't want to like categorize monsters there, Joe. I didn't want to do that. Okay. I know there's a lot of monsters listening. I'm a big fan of Sesame Street, you know.
Yeah.
Big fan of all those monsters.
But what was I? What did I want to? I wanted to say something about the Italian horn and kind of talk about like kind of lead us into before we move on to the meat of this episode.
I like it.
You know, kind of like where do you land on the superstition levels?
Do I think okay? So, yeah.
So like, you know, I'll wear the Italian horn, right? But honestly, you know, there are times when I don't wear. I wear it mostly out of a way to
It's your style.
show pride
Yeah, no,
in
all
my
right.
heritage, and it's sort of a reminder of my heritage.
Okay. So you don't wear it for...
But at Wawa, there's a brand of chips. There's a flavor called Evil Eye.
No. I heard of those, yeah.
I kid you not. I would not eat them.
You wouldn't eat them?
No.
Nah.
I wouldn't eat them. If you brought them here...
I wouldn't have eaten them.
If you brought them here and put them out in a bowl, and we're like, hey, Joe, these are the Evil Eye flavored chips, I'd be like, nah.
What do they taste like? I wonder.
I don't
Now I'm
know.
curious. Like,
And I will never know.
we'll never know, yeah.
like,
We'll never know.
Like, it makes me uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah, really? Wow, I didn't know
it's
that.
like funny to like see like how superstitious you are. It's like with the Italian horn thing, like it's not I don't think like, oh man, I better have this on me or I'm gonna
His eye's gonna
I'm
come
gonna
out and
get
fight
cursed.
you, yeah.
But at the same time,
Could it happen? Yeah,
I'm not getting those chips.
You don't want to take that
I'm not
chance?
getting those chips.
You're right. So you're definitely a believer of all these superstitions. You don't practice them?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know?
I feel like it's hard to quantify
Right.
stuff like that.
For sure it is.
Well, what about you? Oh, well, you tell me. I'm not wearing my Italian horn to protect myself, but at the same time, I'm afraid to eat a bag of chips because it's called Evil Eye.
Yeah, no, that's something. I'm
so
trying
you
to...
tell me, am I superstitious or am I not? Like, I don't know.
The results are in. You're superstitious, buddy. You're superstitious. We gotta get you to eat them chips.
And you're a zillennial.
And you're a zillennial. Your generation's zillennial. You're a zillennial superstitious chip not eater.
Okay.
There you go. It's a good word.
All right. But what about you? What about you?
I don't believe in superstitions, honestly. I think that, and the crazy part is, like, I won't go testing the waters with them either. Like, I'm not gonna go taunt like the evil eye, like, come get me. Like, even that was a little taunting. I think that was bad. What I just said. I wish I didn't say that.
Yeah. No. You're immediately like, oh.
But I don't even got my horn on me. But
I definitely want to see. I want to see the one you. I want to see.
yeah, it's somewhere around here, man. I don't even know if it's up here or down. I don't even know. Or
right,
down here, up there.
After the episode, we'll...
I don't think I believe in any of that stuff, man. I just feel like the world's too big, the universe is too big for like some human superstition. Ooh, you know what I mean? I just think there's too much going on.
What, you think it's like ridiculous? The
Yeah,
idea
I think
that people can curse other people by.
Yeah, I think all that was just made to kind of keep people in line over the millennia. You know, well, don't do anything bad. You're gonna have this giant eye. I'll curse you.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know, back in the
then
day,
why
like,
is it believed by so many?
by so many, right?
No,
Right.
I'm just-
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But
I don't believe in any superstition. I definitely do though. Like, will catch myself throwing salt on my shoulder.
yeah,
Just because I watch my grandmother do it all the time. I think that's just natural. But I don't do it for like any reason. Like, you wear the chain, like, it's not specifically
It's-
because you want protection.
I do wear it. I wear it as a just like it's
Like you said, to
symbolic-
remind you.
symbolic
Yeah,
of my
no, that's why.
heritage.
Yeah, so like, oh, I wear mine. You know, if I have like my shirt unbuttoned, I wear that. Yeah, I wear my cross. Just, you know, it's not doing nothing for me. I don't think. You know, I don't think I'm protected any more or less. But Mack truck's coming down the street to take my life. That Mack truck's taking my life. It's not gonna go. Wait a minute. This guy's got a gold pepper necklace. Because that's what a Mack truck would say. 'Cause we know what it is. We know it's a horn, but truck, yeah, just swerve left. You know what I mean? Nothing will happen. I don't think that's true. I don't think it's possible.
all right, yeah.
Nah, man. I think.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I don't like.
I think you do stupid things happen to you.
I
That's
feel
what
like
think.
I don't like live my life. Like,
Based
freaked
around
out
fear.
about the evil eye.
Right. But the thing many people do
But-
and have in our history.
But at the same time, I do notice I'm not buying those bags of chips.
You're not buying those
No.
chips? Though I was trying to give like sway to get them. You didn't see what I did there.
What?
I don't even know what I did there.
I don't.
But it had to do with chips. And you buying them. Or I'll even buy the chips. You still want to eat them? The evil eye chips?
Oh, no. I thought you were talking about the other chips I was telling you about.
No, the evil eye.
Oh, yeah, guys, we had plans that involved some chips.
Yeah, we did.
But Mikey was too afraid.
I was afraid. Scared. I was so scared.
So we're going to have to do it another night.
Yeah, the one chip
yeah.
challenge. I definitely have to do that.
Yeah, blew it. All right. I was gonna tease it. No, it's fine. It's fine.
So I was making hand gestures to
No.
count down from 3, and just so the audience doesn't know what I was doing there.
It's fine.
Yeah, we were gonna do that challenge, but I'm just not feeling great, and I think like that's the last thing my body would thank me for. Like, Mike, you haven't eaten in days.
At some point, guys, I would like to do like in the middle of an episode, me and Mike eat the Packy or Pacqui.
Not Packy. I think it's Packy.
Packy. Okay. One chip challenge, and then just do the rest of the podcast.
It's gonna be
with
tough,
our mouths
man.
on fire.
It's gonna be tough. We should definitely record that somehow. It's not like we don't have the capabilities.
Yeah, that would actually be good to put on
I have
the
everything needed.
Instagram.
Exactly, man. Just see how long we can do it, so people know we're not messing around, man.
Innovative.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. All right,
yeah.
all right.
No, I gotta clear the air. I'm definitely excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm just not feeling good, man. I love spice.
Oh, okay.
I love spice, Joe. My mouth loves spice.
Yeah, Mike's a brave little boy.
And he's really hurt my feelings when he talks like this.
So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Just want to say hello to Dennis.
Dennis.
We miss you, buddy,
Dennis, we miss you, man.
and we hope you're listening.
Always.
Yeah. So, we're gonna go into our favorite childhood franchise,
I'm ecstatic right now.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, baby. Star Wars,
It
man.
was such a big part of my life, as some listeners might recall. At one point, I was punished, and the punishment was that I wasn't allowed to talk about Star Wars all day when I was 9 years old.
No talking about it.
And yeah, I don't know. What do you think? What was weirder, that or my dad yelling at me, telling me I need to learn what time it is?
I wouldn't use the word weird, but I'd say
I would.
I'd say that the time was definitely
that was a lot more.
That was
what?
That was more questionable. Yeah, questionable.
Questionable or like just confusing?
Confusing.
Okay.
Confusing. Yeah, confusing. See, I just don't want your dad to get mad at me now and tell me to learn the time.
Nah, he might.
Because I don't know how to tell time, Joe, and I'm not.
No?
I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Wait. Are you messing with me?
I'm 100% Joe. Now I'm upset. What does this guy think of me? Don't think I know the time.
I feel like there might be a lot of people who don't know how to do the
actual clock.
Yeah, like the hands.
What's that white circle with the lines on it?
Nah, all right.
Oh, it's a clock.
Now you make me feel bad.
Don't ever feel bad.
But like there are
I know,
people who, like,
for sure, that don't know time.
The old school time.
Yeah,
they can read the digital stuff.
Exactly.
But like
even a lot of watches are digital. Like there's no.
I remember at school they would teach us how to read the clock.
The clock,
so,
right?
Like,
yeah, that was something we learned in like preschool, kindergarten.
So I feel like it is something that like they realized is starting to like. Oh man, we better.
It's like writing. It's like cursive. It's like cursive. People don't teach that no more.
I think after third grade I stopped doing cursive.
Yeah, man.
How about you?
Third, fourth grade. I remember like it was like such a big thing.
It was definitely third grade was the last time.
Yeah, and that was it. It was like, all right, guys, you can write everything on your phone now. You're good.
It wasn't even that. It was just like, all right, you can write in.
Did cursive just end? Did it go extinct?
Script or whatever alphabet.
The teachers told me to write in Times New Roman. I said, how do I do that with my hand? They were like, no.
It's like, that's Arial.
Yeah,
that's not Times New Roman.
Get out! Send me to the office. It was a great childhood days I had.
Yeah.
See, I had to learn about fonts.
Oh no, principal. I can't do the right font.
Yeah. I swore it was bold italic.
But, yeah, so, where are we? Oh, yeah, alright, so Star Wars. So, kind of a big part of both of our lives.
For sure, man, for sure.
Yeah, Mike and I talk about Star Wars quite a bit.
Too much.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have 2 full episodes we recorded and deleted that were Star Wars themed, and they were awful.
It was a lot of talking, not a lot of funny.
So much, I'm starting to get nervous right now.
I'm getting nervous,
whether
though.
or not we can pull this off.
No, we can pull it off.
But we're going to, because at this point, Mike, we just got to do it.
No, for sure, man.
And no matter what happens, like it's what we
look. If
we have to put something out.
Joe, if we don't talk about Star Wars, someone else is going to do it. All right, and it's not going to be highly original. Because I don't think anybody's ever even mentioned Star Wars before.
Yeah,
in any context.
We might be the first podcast to ever talk about Star Wars.
So we got this. We just got to be confident in our own abilities.
So, first thing I wanted to talk about. You remember like playing lightsaber?
Of course.
I'm sure you did with your brother and all that.
Of course. with pool noodles with sticks.
You ever had the actual lightsaber?
Of course,
toys?
I had whatever I get my hands on.
You're
The ones that would pop out, the ones that would like light up, even though they were kind of crappy. The ones that would pop out and light up, they were still crappy. But the FX lightsabers.
My one friend had a pretty good model of I think Obi-Wan's.
Did it pop out though?
No.
The blade was already, alright, yeah.
But it was a good one.
Yeah, like an FX lightsaber, like LED, looks like a real legitimate. Yeah, no.
But I feel like it was almost before the high-end lightsabers were a thing.
You probably couldn't duel with them, and they probably break easily.
No, we did.
Smack around?
But it was probably one of the first ones where it was the real high-end one.
I know what you're saying.
So, of course, I played as a kid, lightsabers and stuff. But I also did once as an adult. So, I wanted to tell you about my dorky lightsaber fight that I had in college.
No shame.
So I lived in this area of my campus called it's off the main campus, so they had shuttle buses running there.
Okay, sounds Star Wars.
The apartments, right? Yeah, I know the shuttle too.
Shuttle.
So it was kind of a winter. There might have been snow on the ground, too. It might have been winter. So we're pulling up on the bus, right? And I see these two guys with those FX lightsabers, dueling out there. And I get off the bus and I go up to them that's pretty cool. What you guys up to? And he's we got these lightsabers. That's cool. Can I look at it? And he's yeah, you want to fight me? Before I know it, I spent the next I might want to say 10 minutes in the dark.
Playing with lightsaber
outside these apartments in my
shame.
college. I'm 19, 20 years old.
No shame, brother.
And I am doing cinematic choreography with some stranger with a lightsaber outside.
Makes it better, man.
But I'm thinking oh my god. Did any of my neighbors look out the window what is wrong with this guy?
You think they did? Was it a good duel?
I mean, yeah. If I recall, it was
excellent.
I felt like a kid again.
Yeah, nah, man. Dude. Let's be honest. If there was two lightsabers down here now, I think we would stop recording.
But
and have a duel.
Would you go outside?
You want to hear a true story?
Would you go outside now as a grown man?
As a grown man, I would go
Because
outside.
obviously the answer was yes, I would. At least.
Right. At 19 years old, my brother.
Dude, I might have been 20.
You were 20?
I might have been 20 when I did this.
We had FX lightsabers in the cul-de-sac in Jersey, having a duel in the snow, and I didn't give a. Who cares? Say something to me. I got a lightsaber. I'll cut you in half.
Yeah.
But then they actually.
I'm a Jedi Knight. You will treat me with respect.
That's how I presented myself.
As a Jedi.
No, but
until I was 21, I walked around as if I was a Jedi.
The neighbors didn't know the difference. They didn't know if it was real or not.
No.
So they never bothered. Nah, we would always do it in the snow at nighttime. We'd duel these lightsabers. I think we had it was an Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
I think it was in the snow too, and that's what made it cool because it's
it looked it just it's cool, man.
Amplified the light.
Yeah, nah, man. Like I said, no.
Honestly, it was such a fun experience, such a fun memory.
Yeah, who's gonna say anything about
that? Whoever you are, I don't think I ever saw that guy again.
Dude, I hope he's listening right now.
Thank you.
I hope he's listening.
That was such a great moment. Oh, that sounds so sad. But you know what? It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. It's a past and it's sad now.
Lighten up and introduce some whimsy into your life if you have a problem with that.
I like it.
But yeah, so I guess what we wanted to go into, I had a few question ideas because the problem is last time we talked too much about the Clone Wars TV series.
I like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, honestly, it became just a thing where I was
Beavis and Butthead talk Star Wars.
Yeah, it was bad. And we recorded this thing twice, and it was just
it got worse the second time around.
Yeah, it was just both times I was looking I was this is garbage.
Should we scrap this?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad, especially like the second time. I think we were midway through. I was like, no, I'm not feeling.
Yeah, no, we were just like really hyping all different things about Star Wars that we know too well.
But, all right, I'm gonna go with 3 questions for you.
Okay.
We're both gonna answer.
Okay.
What is your favorite Star Wars film?
Okay.
Who is your favorite hero or good guy? And that could also be who would you like play as most of the time in video games or just playing make-believe outside back with your friends. Who is your favorite villain?
Ooh.
Who you would play as and play
game,
as
yeah.
outside or in video games.
Right.
All right?
So, my favorite movie, my favorite Star Wars film of all time is going to be Empire Strikes Back. Just because that was such an experience for me growing up when I saw those Imperial walkers like walking through the snow.
Imperial troops have entered the base.
Yeah, like you see these giant like robotic like elephant camel dogs. Like you don't even know what they are.
Do you remember the Family Guy with where they did the parody and like they got the 2 rebel soldiers and they're like, "So Tim, how you think we're gonna do against the Empire today?" He's like, "Well, Bob, I think we'll do pretty good as long as they don't have any giant robot camels."
Yeah, no,
I saw that. You just hear like a thud and like he's like, "Hey Tim, look." He's like, "What? Giant robot camels."
That's what they looked like. But they were scary.
They were.
And seeing that as a kid, I was just like, obviously you can't be alive and not know who Darth Vader is, or like, you know what I mean? Like you could see him, like everybody knows who it is.
Icon of cinema.
Exactly.
Like,
one of the best villains of all time. It doesn't matter.
Really.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what series.
And so is the
genre.
Emperor, honestly.
The Emperor, dude.
Star Wars has 2 like objectively like iconic villains.
Yeah, well, the Emperor's like evil, like no good. Like, whereas Darth Vader, you feel bad for in a way.
He gets a redemption arc at the end.
Yeah, right.
But for the first 2 movies,
he's a menace. He's always a menace. Darth Vader's always a menace. But I'd have to say Empire Strikes Back. Favorite hero that I play as, like in games, like pretend I was.
Well, let me ask you something. Empire Strikes Back, just because of the nostalgic memories. Because personally, I think Empire Strikes Back might be one of the best movies of the objective cinema.
It was such a ride, man. It was such a ride, dude. It was I love that
how
movie.
It was, how the story is, the effects, the direction. I think that might be the best. Cinema. Yeah, like
graphically. Right.
Objectively the best. Maybe not personal preference.
Right, but like actually the best, yeah.
Of the originals, I say Empire Strikes Back is probably the best made.
It doesn't get better than that. Like it's just pure cinema. It's
the
pure
Force
art.
is with you.
Yeah.
You are not a Jedi yet.
I did not. The one thing that always bugs me. Exactly. Yeah. The one thing that always bugs me though is I guess it can't really bug me because it's what it is. It's done. But Emperor Palpatine, like his first look, like that makeup.
But they edited that out.
They did, yeah. Now, I have that on VHS though. Like I have all that. There's a lot of CGI on my VHS tapes of just like extra like animals in the background, like on like Tatooine or whatnot. But I have that copy.
The original unedited ones once.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
I saw the unedited version of that.
It's crazy, dude, how much has been edited over the years in all these movies. Like even the title crawl, you know what I mean? It's so iconic, but like how they did it back in the day, they would basically do it on this like treadmill that would kind of roll, and they would have the camera. It was really interesting. It was really interesting how they did it. And now everything's digital.
Sorry, I cut you off. So you were saying about the Emperor?
No, yeah, that's just the only thing that I get sad about. But
the original actor was an actress.
An actress?
Yes, that was an actress. That was the original look of the Emperor.
Really?
And it was I think they superimposed goat eyes.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was
a man's voice.
Right.
But it was a woman.
It was a woman's face.
A woman with some animal eyes superimposed over her face. Just mouthing the lines that were delivered by a male actor.
I mean, you know what though? I love it though. You know what I mean? Because it's what it is, man. It's what it is, man. It's corny. I think the look of it. I'm not gonna lie. The goat eyes and all that kind of looks like.
There's some iconic Darth Vader.
Oh my god!
When he's
man.
The part when he what's the one guy, Captain Fiat?
Right.
And when he promotes him, he's strangling.
Yeah, he's strangling
with the Force. his superior officer, and like
He's like Admiral Anita.
He's like Captain Fiat, like ready the whatever, you know. He's telling him, and like the guy next to him was like
dying, yeah,
and
yeah.
then he's like, "You are now in command, Admiral Fiat."
Yeah,
as he says that, like the superior officer next to him just like collapses
and dies.
Yeah, and you see like the Admiral Fiat like signals some other guys like as if to say like, "All right,
you're this body, yeah. No, I remember that. He's like, points,
yeah. That's such an icon. I think that's one of like.
That definitely is, man. That really is
the top Darth Vader. Just like strangle.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like the best.
Dude, he's such a menace, man. Like, just breaking off real quick. Obi-Wan. Oh my God, that series. Just I love it. I loved everything. I loved everything about it.
Okay, yeah, I enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I think they really made Darth Vader like. Wow, Darth Vader, man! Like this is like him. He's horrifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get to see that too much in the early films, but
they did make him pretty.
He was very scary, man. But I love that scene though. He's like, "You are in control now, Admiral Fiat," and then the other guy just like dies. Clean this up. Yeah, right. Yeah. I like when he's choking somebody through like the screen.
Oh yeah, I think he does. That's how he.
Is that how? Yeah. He's on screen. Yeah, he's like dying on camera, right?
Yeah, and then there's the one part where he's like, the one guy's like, we lost them. He's like, ready my shuttle. I shall apologize to Lord Vader in person. And it's like the next scene.
Yeah,
he's just like, the guy's like thrown on the floor and he's just, apology accepted, Captain.
Nita. Yeah, Captain Nita. Yeah, apology accepted, Captain Nita. He's like dead on the floor. That's so Darth Vader, man. Yeah, that's how he does things, man.
But yeah, I mean, so I guess my favorite movie though. See, I'm gonna be like, all right. My favorite of the new ones, Rogue One.
Okay, I love that.
I thought that was a fantastic film.
It was awesome, man.
And talking about Darth Vader, one of the greatest Darth Vader scenes of all time.
For sure.
So what, like the Star Wars fans at home will know what I mean when I say the hallway scene.
Of course.
You know. When
bone chilling, man. Bone chilling.
All the rebel troops have the plans. They're running through a hallway. It's all dark, and the door's jammed. And they're like, oh no. And then like everything gets quiet, and they all turn around. They take aim, and you hear the Darth Vader breathing, and he walks out, and the lightsaber just like emits, and like the music starts as like the lightsaber emits.
Craziness,
and
man.
Like. I remember in the theater, man. I don't know about you. I was like thinking, like, Darth Vader's gonna get them, like because I thought the lightsaber was gonna turn on, it would cut to black.
You thought
we weren't gonna see it, and I was like, I remember turning to my friend. I was like, I think they're gonna show it, and then he starts doing it. I'm like, they're showing it.
Yeah, real rap. Yeah,
I was like, oh my God.
Well, I knew there was something crazy happening because like Kevin Smith, he did like Jay and Silent Bob, Clark.
Yeah.
Big Star Wars fan.
Kevin Smith. Well, I mean, Kevin Smith in his own right is a respected filmmaker.
For sure. Yeah. But he had kind of just said to everybody, he was like, he posted something. He was like, man, like all I gotta say, he wasn't trying to spoil anything. He was like, but Darth Vader. He was like, that was the most horrifying thing. So when I was in the theater and I saw that lightsaber just...
I didn't know that
red glow.
I did not know that.
Dude, I was grabbing I was like, yo, this is it. This is what we're waiting for.
I was like, man, this is the greatest thing.
I went home to rewatch that scene on my Amazon Fire Stick. And it was like crappy quality, but I couldn't stop watching it. It was
such
intense,
a great
dude.
Scene.
Amazing,
man. Then like the end, like the one... The last trooper like gives up and he's just like gives it to the other guy on the other side. And he's like, just take it!
It's crazy, man. Yeah. She's a lightsaber go through the door. Dude, he was hacking them apart, man.
And like there's like that whole like, you got like that choir like,
the music. Michael Giacchino did great music with that, man.
Was that Michael Giacchino who did that?
Yeah, man.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was intense, man. It was intense music. Yeah.
Wow.
Intense music, man.
Okay, honestly, I thought it was just like John Williams again. Like
no, yeah, he John Williams stays, I believe, on all like the saga. Of course. I mean, John Williams is one of my
John Williams'
favorite composers of all time.
Was used, I imagine.
Of course, yeah, his original notes. His original music was like...
Because they didn't use the the original.
The original theme was
song in
different
that.
too, but there was definitely some notes that Michael Giacchino most likely had.
I mean,
of course, had
to. He had to be inspired. By
exactly.
John Williams created Star Wars music.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. But yeah, no, I mean everything worked so well in that scene, let alone the whole film. But that scene though, Darth Vader going crazy.
Oh yeah.
Loved it, man. Loved it.
But yeah, but Rogue One, yeah, that's the one where they tell the story of the rebel spies that took the Death Star plans that was mentioned in the first Star Wars movie ever.
Right.
So they show it. I thought they did a fantastic job with it, and they're making a series Andor.
Well, that just came out. Yeah, I heard.
Did you see that yet?
Did not see it, but I hear nothing but amazing reviews.
Diego Luna, who played.
Yeah, man, he's playing
what's his name? Cassian Andor.
Cassian Andor, yeah, Cassian. Cassian, I don't know as. Is Cassian Andor?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm
almost positive. Yeah.
All right.
Forgive us if we're wrong.
It's gonna be bad. Well, yeah, I liked his character too, so I might check that one out.
I heard it's the most mature Star Wars series, from what I'm hearing, in a good way. So that's
because like he was kind of a shady character.
Yeah, man, he really was.
There's even a scene where he's like, hey, I'm not proud of everything that I've done in the service to the rebellion, and I remember my cousin pointing out when he was giving me his review about that, he was like, in Rogue One, you really see that the Rebel Alliance was an alliance. Like, they play that part because it's like all these different factions that like had competing. Because there are some guys who are like, the ends justify the means. So,
right, exactly.
And then there are other guys who are like, we gotta be like, we gotta be ethical completely. And we gotta, So, like, that was like cool part. I mean, I studied international relations, so like I like that stuff. Like,
you see how that all kind of ties hand with each other.
I might be one of the only guys who enjoys the Senate debates in the prequels.
Joe lives for the ET scene, and
I love that scene.
I know, it's great.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, like the ET species is in the Star Wars Senate. Like, you see them really briefly. They had their own little, like,
Senate chamber pod.
Senate chamber pod, and they're like cheering or something.
Yeah.
Like,
something the Emperor's saying, like...
Yeah, like, it's,
So was that when he turned, like, over, like, we're going to be creating the first ever galactic empire?
No, I think this is, like, this might be Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it was definitely something like that.
Yeah, it was like, E.T.'s like, let's do it!
E.T.'s all, like... into it.
That's why E.T. arrives on Earth, because he's a Imperial sympathizer. He's fleeing from the rebellion.
Well, I like how E.T. sees Yoda in the movie E.T. Like he sees a Yoda mask.
He's like phone. He's like,
And that's always cool. So there you go, man. That ties up that little universe.
Well, Spielberg and Lucas are friends.
Oh
so
my God.
They did Indiana Jones together.
Right? Man.
But yeah, so like they've done nods to each other like that.
For sure, yeah. It's just cool. It's just cool to see that though. Like, especially knowing like, wow, E.T. species was in a Star Wars film, and then to go back and watch E.T. To me, it's cool.
And possibly E.T. and Star Wars share a cinematic universe.
Exactly. So, like that's I'd like to think that.
You like to think? All right.
I'd like to think that.
Yeah.
In a perfect world.
Yeah. Why not?
Exactly.
But. Yeah, so, alright, before, I don't want to run the time too much.
We didn't even give our favorite heroes and villains.
I will. So, I'm going to go Revenge of the Sith is my favorite, the prequel.
Okay.
I'm going to go with... I like the original trilogy. I pretty much like
I know. It's just, dude, it's hard.
Empire Strikes Back is good, but I love the Jabba the Hutt scenes in Return of the Jedi. I think he's an underrated villain. Jabba.
He is. He's iconic in my opinion, man. He's so
he's just like
gross.
So uncaring about like being evil. Like he's
just
like having fun. He's just like, I'm gonna throw some people in like a monster pit. He's just like, he just like doesn't care.
He's like eating frogs.
Yeah, and that's
disgusting.
Like that's what made him like an interesting villain because he's just so like.
And it was cool though. Yeah, like he had all these other villains like.
He's so like nonchalant about being like evil. Whatever. I'm gonna smoke my hookah.
Yeah, smoke his hookah.
Smoke my hookah while
his little pet.
Oh yeah, little, salacious beak rum.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that thing was creepy, man. What scared you? What's creepier, Jabba the Hutt or his little pet?
I used to be afraid of Jabba the Hutt, though.
Yeah.
Because when I would go to New Jersey to see my cousins, and they would put the Jabba, I couldn't watch the Jabba the Hutt scenes.
Really?
I
You were
was really
scared?
young. But that was like before I feel like I really got into Star Wars.
You understood it, yeah, like what was going on.
Yeah, I did not like Jabba the Hutt, like the scenes.
I was scared of the pig guards, the green pig guards he has. I was scared of those.
The Gamorrean guards.
The Gamorrean guards.
See, like, the gloves are off, Mike. I'm gonna drop all these nerdy little knives.
Nah, man, it's okay.
I feel like you're like trying to pretend that you don't know. Look, those pig guards.
Pig guards, you know the green ones.
Mike, let's drop the act.
Drop the act.
We're Star Wars nerds. We know all the names. We probably know the names of those pig guards.
I know more about Star Wars. Yeah, really, we do. Yeah, I read their name tags.
Yeah, it's like
it's
Spacius, Oinkus, and like,
Oinkus the Second.
Yeah, like,
I mean, everybody knows that.
But yeah, and then real quick, I guess we'll touch on Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
that was like I saw that in theater. I will never forget seeing that with my dad.
Yeah, man, that's
in theaters. So that one has a special place.
Like I hate saying that that's not my favorite because like you, that was the first Star Wars film I've ever seen in theaters. Obviously, like I was so young, but man, like, and you know what's crazy? I had like not nightmares, but I had dreams after that of like Darth Vader like at the end rising up, like Anakin rising up and now he's Darth Vader in this mechanical suit.
That's such a great scene.
Yeah, dude, I would try to draw that all the time, like recreate it. Like,
and that's another scene with great choir music, like
yeah, man,
like rising up and
dude, such like a nod to like Nosferatu or like Frankenstein or like any of these
old
I
guess
like.
This really is a real nod to Frankenstein.
Yeah, right? Man, essentially, yeah.
I guess, that would be probably what they were really
essentially
going for there.
I'd agree with you there, man.
You know, and then we're talking about, of course, the scene where Darth Vader is put into the suit.
Into the suit, yeah.
He's badly disfigured by
and
duel with Obi-Wan.
I don't mean to be too nerdy, but that surgery he had, that was like a 2-day surgery, if I heard right. Like in the actual Star Wars like lore. Like,
oh really?
It was like a long, painful, like no sedatives, nothing. Like Sidious wanted him to feel pain. He wanted him to really grow that hatred. There's a really cool channel I always listen to, man, and I don't say their name because honestly I forget their name. It looks terrible on me. It's a really cool channel. I don't remember the name, but they always talk. They always give like crazy. They break down like Star Wars, like life. I don't even know. Like they break down everything. Lore, yeah, I guess. But they're like, yeah, that wasn't just like a quick scene. Like that was like a 2-day operation or a whole day. Like he was getting operated on, like painfully, like removing his clothes, like ripping his skin.
Yeah, but like that's such a great like.
Crazy, yeah. Like,
can you hear me?
Yes, my master. Yeah, that was crazy, man. That was. We're such nerds.
Yeah, like,
we just said it at the same time.
I even love the part when he's like when Sidious finds him, he's like, he's still alive. Get a medical capsule immediately.
And like he like shuts his body off with the Force, so he's like, you ever notice how he was like struggling, and then like he just waves his hand past him, and Anakin like his body goes limp.
I like that was like the Force healing when they would.
Like he was like struggling, and then he just went limp, and then like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to look at that next time.
Kind of like shut his eyes.
But I guess because we are gonna be pressed for time. Real quick, who was your favorite character to play as hero and villain?
Right. I would say favorite hero had to be Obi-Wan.
Same.
Obi-Wan. Okay.
I loved Ewan McGregor's performance.
For sure, man.
Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan Kenobi's just a gangster in all forms.
He's my favorite. He's probably one of my favorite.
Alec Guinness too, man. I'm talking young Obi-Wan Kenobi, like warrior Obi-Wan, Jedi Knight.
Ewan McGregor was the one we grew up with.
Exactly. Like in our generation grew up with, saw in theaters.
Just how like Christian Bale is Batman to us.
Exactly. Well, I hope he's Batman to everybody. Cause that's
some people. Michael Keaton is Batman.
Oh my god, please, I'm talking like after Christian Bale. I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying.
So I know that wasn't a shot at Alec Guinness.
No, he, but definitely Ewan McGregor. His Obi-Wan was just so tough, man. Like I love the pose he would do, where he would kind of like hold the lightsaber up with like his right arm and then have his left hand out, like come get some. You know what I mean? He was like pointing, like like. But my favorite villain to play as, I mean, I'm going to sound crazy. I'm not going to sound too original here. not too highly original, but
Go.
Darth Vader, man.
Okay.
Darth Vader was just that guy. Like, I had a Darth Vader helmet growing up.
The voice changer?
I did, man.
I still have my Darth Vader voice changer.
You still have it? Yeah, we were saying that last time we tried this.
I'm wearing it in a family photo.
Really?
A family portrait.
Dude,
the year that I got it. I'm wearing it in our annual. We used to do an annual vacation trip.
Okay.
And one year, my godmother bought me the Darth Vader voice changer, and like I wore it the next day. Like,
obviously, yeah, like all day, all night. I lived in it.
Wearing it, yeah.
That was used as a form of discipline for my little brother. He was petrified of that thing.
Really?
And it was like, you could say, hey, Anthony, no. And he wouldn't listen. I was like, all right, I got to do it. Put the Darth Vader on. No. And he would start like getting...
Oh, really?
He would start listening really very quickly. But you, man, favorite hero, favorite villain?
Yeah, so Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, I would play as him in, video games. When we would play, if I was playing as a specific character, like playing outside,
right.
Obi-Wan. He was, I think he's like the best Jedi. Like,
of course, yeah, man.
He just embodies the whole Jedi ethos, like,
Real, yeah, man.
Favorite villain? Honestly, I mean, Darth Vader and the Emperor are iconic. And I got to look at them objectively as like the bad, But I do enjoy General Grievous.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I always thought he was like the forearms.
Yeah, man.
He's not a Jedi or a Sith, but he's just like this.
He's got this like lightsaber collection.
Like a bad guy that like plays the lightsaber. He's got that voice and stuff.
Count Dooku gave him some training.
Oh yeah.
So he definitely knows.
He's not like. He
not force sensitive.
Yeah, he can't do any of it.
He has no midichlorians in him.
No. But yeah, I always enjoyed General Grievous because I just thought he was like he's just so like angry. Yeah, he's just like angry, he's just irritated all the time. Like
really, yeah.
His first scene, it walks, he's just like, ugh.
Yeah, like breathing heavy and like
he like groans, just like he's irritated.
Oh, like that sound, like this like canned sound.
He just gets mad and he's just like. He's like throwing droids around. He's like, get to your stations! Like throwing them like. I enjoyed him, even though his whole thing like he wasn't the most intimidating villain. Because, he like kind of runs away from fights. He doesn't like fight, but I still thought he was like an interesting villain.
He still knows how to work those lightsabers, man. He's definitely good at the
That's gonna lead us into the Clone Wars talks, and I don't know if we want to do that.
No. Let's just end it.
Because I like him as he's depicted. I think it's interesting how he's depicted in the movie.
Of course, yeah, no.
Kind of, kind of cowardly
bad guy,
who's like. He'll fight you as long as he like
knows he's gonna
has
win.
Guys backing him up,
Well, that's what makes his character so like cool, man. He's just like a bad guy. He's just nothing redeemable. Like there's no honor. There's no like Sith honor. No,
he didn't have he's just have, like a code.
Yeah, he's just like
there.
Like I'm gonna commit a crime and then run away with this really cool circular bike.
Yeah.
This is real quick. His vehicle, man. I don't know what that was. But that was the coolest thing ever. It was like
I used to know what it was called.
Yeah.
I used to know what it was called.
I knew everything about Star Wars growing up. Like, too much. Like, to me, I thought, like, even young, I was like, nah, this is... Like, I was meant to be a Jedi. Like, something's gonna happen. Yeah, I was like, something's gonna happen. I'm gonna figure it all out. Like, this is real.
And I think we do have time for one last question.
Oh, please.
What is your favorite Star Wars game? Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one.
Battlefront 2, the original?
PlayStation 2, yeah.
Okay.
Many hours I spent playing my older cousin in that.
Yeah.
And like, he was like older and like he didn't win all the time. But when he did win, he would like, cause it would like come up, it would pop up if you would win, or also be like victory, defeat.
Right.
He'd be like, victory!
Were you a fan of The Force Unleashed?
I didn't play that one.
That was probably one of my favorites. But the original Battlefront.
Okay.
I remember playing that.
Battlefront 2 was the one I played.
Battlefront 2 is crazy. And then they like, have another Battlefront, right? It's like a newer one. I'm not too sure.
I've heard like bad feedback. Compared to the original.
Compared to the original was awesome. There was a game they never made called 1313. I think it took place.
Star Wars game?
Yeah, no, it was this. I forget which planet. God, what planet was it on? But it's just like basically, I'll be quick. The slums of this planet, and there's like I think it's like 13 levels. It goes down. It's really cool. I'll show you. I don't want to butcher it for the listeners. I think it was on Coruscant. Yeah, it was like the underworld of Coruscant.
Okay.
It was called 1313. I always saw the making of that game, and that would have been like it was an open world game, and it looked really cool, but they never finished it, man. But yeah, Battlefront 2, Force Unleashed. I think those are two pretty good games, man. Those are two pretty good games.
An honorable mention to the Revenge of the Sith video game.
Revenge of the Sith video game.
You remember that one?
I do remember that. Oh my god, bro! You just screwed my mind up. I remember that. Revenge of the Sith, the game?
Yeah.
On like PS2,
Yeah.
GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy. You know what's crazy? I had that. I remember like I had it. The opening, like title sequence was played, and I think I was just able to pick like who I wanted to be. I forget if I was like
pick Obi-Wan or Anakin.
Yeah, and I remember it froze on me, and I was so mad, and like I was washing this disc off, and I never got to enjoy that game. It froze on me, and I never. Yeah, I was so mad.
Yeah, that was one I played a lot.
Were you able to play as like Mace Windu and? Were you inevitably able to?
Not in the campaign mode. In like a dual mode.
Because Battlefront 2 you could play pretty much as anybody.
You
yeah,
play as Mace Windu on that one.
Yeah, Mace Windu's that guy too, man.
Oh yeah, Mace Windu. Yeah, he was cool.
He's awesome.
Powerful. Man. He hit hard.
Man. He didn't take no enemies.
Yeah, like his special move in Battlefront 2 was like he jumps up and like slams his lightsaber into the ground and like it makes like an
explosion.
Yeah, like a dent like in the ground and like.
Man. Yeah. He's definitely tough, man. He went out like a gangster, I will say, man. He went out crazy.
And the fun fact about Samuel L. Jackson got the purple lightsaber because he just wanted purple. He
wanted to see himself in like the battle. He was like, I wanted to be able to tell who I am in the Clone Wars battle, like on
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've seen footage of him talking to George Lucas where he's like. So what color lightsaber? What color lightsabers? And like George Lucas is like, well, you get like blue or green for good guys and red for bad guys. He's like, what about a purple lightsaber? He's like, yeah, I can.
Yeah, George Lucas did it. Yeah, because there was an interview very similar, and he was just saying like, yeah, because I wanted to see where I was. It was like in this big battle where like the clones kind of like the clones enter the Clone Wars or the beginning of the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And he was like, I wanted to see myself because there's so many lightsabers in there. It's cool. You can see him. Like,
there's also, I don't know if this is true or not. I had to fact check this, but on his lightsaber, it is inscribed "Bad MFer," which is a reference to his character.
Crazy.
His character in Pulp Fiction, his wallet says "Bad MFer."
I gotta check that out.
So
man. That's
there's
crazy.
Like a legend that on the lightsaber.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Inscribed that.
Because my friend had that Bad MFer wallet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my friend North had that wallet, and I was like, "That's the coolest wallet ever."
Yeah,
man.
so
that'd be crazy.
In Pulp Fiction, the character who's like, he's like, I want my wallet back. Which one is it? It's the one that says "Bad MFer."
That he is, man. That he is.
But yeah, that's a little trivia. But with that, I think we're ready to wrap up, and hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember to follow our Instagram, and keep listening and stay tuned to the new stuff we'll be working on.
Exactly.
So with that, take care.
Take it easy.